Love is an emotion that we know has the power to move mountains. People have lived and died in love, lived and died for love. Love is the basis of all our relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or family. Being in a loving relationship impacts your life for the better both emotionally and physically. According to one meta-analysis of more than 3.5 million people nationwide, married individuals up to the age of 50 were 12% less likely to experience vascular diseases compared to their divorced or single counterparts. Monogamous relationships are not just for humans. Various species in the animal kingdom commit to lifelong relationships and live with only one partner throughout their lives. Many researchers have found that being in love gives you the same feeling as being on drugs. Love can make you do things that feel irrational, things that you never thought you would do. Research suggests that falling in love can feel like a dose of cocaine. It is proven that you can fall in love in as few as 4 minutes. It only takes 4 minutes to make the first impression. Longer than 4 months. To have a crush on someone is very common but can disappear in a twinkle of an eye. With that being said, a crush that lasts more than 4 months is a sign that you are in love. 20-second hugs. Hugging a person for 20 seconds or more releases a chemical in your body known as oxytocin. This chemical, once released, can make you trust a person more. Laughing together. If you and your partner are able to laugh together for at least 10 minutes per day, it makes your relationship stronger. Jealousy. People who are in love tend to get jealous over very stupid things. Romantic love only lasts for a year. After that, get ready for attachment love. This is when romance jumps out the window and attachment takes the steering. IMP0RTANT. Psychological tricks related to human behavior. Reciprocity. People tend to feel obligated to give back when they receive something. This can be used in various situations to create a sense of obligation. Scarcity. Limited availability can increase the perceived value of something. Creating a sense of scarcity can drive demand. Psychological tricks related to human behavior. Authority. People tend to follow the lead of credible, knowledgeable figures. Demonstrating expertise can influence behavior. Consistency. People like to act consistently with their previous commitments. Getting small commitments can lead to larger ones. Important psychological tricks. Social proof. People are more likely to do something if they see others doing it. Testimonials and reviews play on this principle. Liking. People are more likely to comply with requests from people they like. Building rapport and establishing common ground can be effective. Important psychological tricks, did you know? Commitment. If people commit, orally or in writing, to an idea or goal, they are more likely to honor that commitment. Reciprocal altruism. People tend to help others with the expectation that they will be helped in return at some point. Important psychological tricks, did you know? Anchoring. People rely heavily on the first piece of information they receive when making decisions. Setting the right initial context can influence perception. Framing. The way information is presented can greatly influence perception and decisions. Positive or negative framing can change how people view an issue. Important psychological tricks, did you know? Mere exposure effect. People tend to develop a preference for things merely because they are familiar with them. Cognitive dissonance. People feel discomfort when their beliefs and actions are contradictory, and they will often change their beliefs to match their actions. Important psychological tricks, did you know? Loss aversion. People tend to value avoiding losses more than acquiring gains. This can influence decision-making and risk-taking. Fear of missing out. FOMO. The fear that others are having more rewarding experiences can lead people to want to be part of those experiences. Important psychological tricks, did you know? Endowment effect. People tend to overvalue items they own, making them less likely to part with them even if offered a fair value. Emotional contagion. Emotions can be transferred from one person to another. Positive emotions can improve group dynamics. Foot in the door technique. Making a small request before asking for a bigger one can increase compliance. Important psychological tricks, did you know? Door in the face technique. Start with a big request that's likely to be refused, then follow with a smaller, more reasonable request. Primacy and recency effect. People remember the first and last items in a list more than those in the middle. Self-serving bias. People tend to attribute positive events to their own character but attribute negative events to external factors. Psychologica trick related to human behavior. Confirmation bias. People tend to seek out and remember information that confirms their existing beliefs. Halo effect. People tend to assume that if someone is good at one thing, they are good at others as well. Important psychological tricks, did you know? Desire for consistency. People prefer to align their attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors in a consistent manner. Hedonic adaptation. People quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness after major positive or negative events, which can affect decision-making.